Hello, this is Lance with Brando Consulting. Thanks for joining us today. We're going to take a quick peek at user rights in Fishbowl. One of the best ways to prevent human error. Don't we all want to prevent that? And that's one of the reasons we purchase software. So we're going to go to Setup, User Group, and we're also going to open up Setup Users. Okay, we need both of these screens to set up user rights. The user group is where the user right is connected to, as a matter of fact. You'll see here over on the left hand side it says accountant, purchasing, etc. I've created a super user as a way to give myself all the rights that are available to give, which is different than admin. There are still a few rights reserved for admin, like updating costs in a mass import. Things that should be carefully thought through before done. So when creating a role in Fishbowl, we go to the user group first, go to the top left hand corner, click New, and add the role. I'll just call it Test Role for the purposes of this demonstration. Then click Save. After we're done making some more adjustments, we'll click Save again, but that's the basic idea. So next we need to add users to this role. I'll add myself, then go to the right screen, and we'll start to decide what rights should be given to this role. So let's talk about what the most common mistakes made in Fishbowl are. One common mistake I see is someone in the receiving screen clicking the fulfill button. So we want to turn that off. Let's pretend like we're going to create a role for receiving. What we do is collapse all and change it to alphabetical order so we can easily find receiving. Go down to R, LMNOPQR, find receiving. And if we're creating a role for someone with receiving rights, we'll start out by giving them full rights to receiving. And then we'll uncheck boxes we don't want them to have, like we don't want the receiver to reconcile. This is an accounting role. And we don't want the receiver to click fulfill because that's a combination of receiving and fulfill. You get the idea. Now, if we were setting up rights for the accountant, then we would uncheck receiving and check reconciling. But really, we don't want anyone to have the fulfillment feature on the receiving screen because that skips a lot of quality control steps we don't like. So just uncheck fulfill. That's one of the easiest ways to prevent human error in that case. The next biggest one is in work order finishes. If you're in manufacturing, we'll go to the manufacture order, and let's say we want to give someone rights to manufacturing. They're the production manager or the warehouse manager, and we want them to have all rights to manufacturing. But there are even some rights we may not want a production manager to have, may not want anyone but the admin to have, and one of those is consume when short. This opens up potential for some very awful mistakes that the production manager would prefer not to accidentally have to make. What this means is when he's closing out a work order, if he's in a hurry, he can go through and hit next on the work order fulfill wizard. And I'll show you that in another video. But if there's a red warning sign and the red square saying we're short on this item, he can actually, if this is checked and he has rights to, he can actually complete the work order without consuming everything. And obviously that's going to put the wrong cost calculation into the finished good. It's not actually going to consume the goods. The proper way to do that is to go back and make a cycle count adjustment and whatever fix you need to make before you go through. But if you're in a hurry, sometimes you're not thinking. So I'm sure he would be grateful, he or she would be grateful if you uncheck that box. So then, of course, once you have this role set up and you click Save, you just need to assign the users to the role. Now, the next part is easy. Create a user. Click New, enter the user name, enter the user's last name, enter the user name that they'll use to log in, their initials that flow through to QuickBooks, and any password. They can reset their password later. And there's a quick overview of user rights in Fishbowl Inventory. Thanks for joining us today.